Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the game War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is my play by email match against KilRoy. He's the commander of the Allied Forces and this is scenario 1 with no mods or anything else, very standard, 1 day turn setup. And we arrived at the 3rd April 42. KilRoy's carrier, my own carrier fleet in the Pacific, or task force, is more or less trying to find each other near Marcus Island. Last turn I was able to create one torpedo hit on a battleship, but with my land-based Snell bombers. And now I will send, I think, my carriers in their direction and to finish them off or at least increase the damage. And maybe likely engage there also with KilRoy's carriers. And we will see if this is a blessing or a curse for me. First I bring in some battleships. In this turn I have no sound. This was a mistake by me, so I'm sorry for this. But I switched it off at the setup of last turn. And if you load the turn, you always load automatically also the setup of your sounds. So I cannot change it now in this game. First, if the combat replay is over, I can change it again. So my bombardment is able to damage here submarine in port. That is fine. So this is now out of action more or less. Plus creating more damage for the allies. And more important is increasing the fatigue. So no night engagement. Good. It's always a little risky, but I mean, possible that if you send your carriers on enemy battleships and if the battleships turn around and then they find each other, that would be always the worst case for the carriers. But normally battleships are too slow, so this is why carriers are normally speedy. Not only because of this, it also have many other issues, or reasons. So first my Kate bombers finding here enemy ships, and now we get detection on, okay, it is reported a battleship, Mississippi. So first some airstrikes in China, killing more Chinese on the ground. Or Burma, British units in Thailand. Not too successful. This is jungle hex, I think. And more here again in South China. I normally have more or less like 3 air groups in China. This is a northern air group operating out of Xi'an. Then I have a second air group in Changsha and a south air group in Canton. And then they support each other. The area where is supposed enemy units, where I can support my ground forces best or slow down enemy movements, depending. No carrier strike. There was some Kates they've reported that they find the enemy battleships. Somehow my carriers not want to engage, but maybe in the afternoon. So again, spotted battleships. If it's now the Mississippi or New Mexico, I am also not sure. Maybe it is a New Mexico class and Mississippi class information, not really the ship of Mississippi in New Mexico. I'm not 100% sure about this, but At least it must be some battleships. Good, and here's my airstrike. Going for the first target, and this is Idaho. And yeah, I can already say more or less that my dive bombers, even if they hit now here, I don't have here much hope to really create too much damage. So bomb hit, deck armor hit, but no penetration. In best cases, create fire, that is true, but more important is that I have here a torpedo hit, an Idaho. So, and important is the damage to engine. This will already slow down the enemy battleship, and this make it much more likely to create the next torpedo hit. So 2 torpedo hits, and I think both making engine hits. This is fine. New Mexico getting more bomb hits, but again, no penetration, so it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if it's a deck armor hit or a belt armor hit, they will never. Not this 250 kilogram bombs. But here is now one more torpedo hit on the New Mexico. I don't get the more. And okay, this is possible. Damage surface, unprotected guns, radar, all of this stuff, and creating fire. And again, no penetration. Okay, again, mount hit, but I think this is only no penetration. And yeah, sometimes the flag is already strong, but it's still okay. This early in the war, most American warships are not too strong compared to the British. They starting, I think, from day one with strong anti-aircraft. And there's also some support destroyers luring some of my strike forces away. And yeah, at the end, only the 21 torpedo bombers could normally do anything. And out of 21 torpedo bombers, I create here 3 torpedo hits. It's okay, nothing really too special, but if 10% hit chance, it's 2 torpedoes I would normally expecting, 3 is already good. The bomb hits are all surface damage and not really important. There's a second strike group going for Mississippi. And unluckily, this carrier is maybe out of torpedoes already. So I have here now many 250 kilogram bomb hits. But if there's no penetration, then it will create fire. So many bomb hits, because these pilots are all well trained. And there was now a 5-inch secondary battery getting destroyed. If this is important, naja, it's at least damage. So many hits, but none of them have a penetration. So one of the reasons you need normally better dive bombers. The Americans, they start with this 1000 pound bombs. They are also not very likely to penetrate armor decks of battleships, but there's, I think, at least a 10 or 20% chance to do this. These 250 kilogram bombs, I think, never penetrate armor of battleships. Yeah, at least I have here 16 bomb hits, and this create heavy fires. And this will maybe create system damage. Now I have no idea if there's some sinking sound, so sorry. But I see here no ship in danger of sinking. Heavy fires alone will not sink a ship. And 2 torpedo hits are also not really so much. So now we have this attack on Darwin. And yeah, this is, I think, also easy to see. Because my forces are out of supplies, it's really hard to bring in any attack value from this raw attack value. If you have no ammunition and you want attack, you simply cannot. I was still able to wipe out many of these Australian forces. So even if I not overcome the enemy, my losses are small, and the Australian are really at the edge. KilRoy lost here again at least 60 attack value. He had only 90, so he lost at least half his attack value. Oh, additional also some maybe tanks. Hard to say. The game don't separate this. But maybe now is really the moment to crush them. And this is some KilRoy try again. This is me. I testing how many forces are still here. So I only some bombardment. I know roughly we are equal. Now KilRoy using this bombardment. This bombardment attacks, I think, is mainly related to consume my supplies. And because if both forces are out of supplies, I think the defender is always in advantage. Because the attacker must take the position. So this is maybe the reason why he simply don't have the value to kill me, but he won't simply maybe bleed me out of supplies. Good. So, and that was the turn. So there was a carrier strike from my side, but it was not a really a clear victory. At least I create 3 torpedo hits and over a dozen bomb hits on battleships. And I lost none of my strike forces, so my carriers are still ready to operate. With, of course, only with less torpedoes now. The flag was there, so you can see I lost some dive bombers and 1 torpedo bomber at least. But 3 strike aircraft is, for this amount of aircraft, taking off and going for the enemy is okay. Ship sunk, official, last turn. I know, I really don't think so, but we will see. Maybe tomorrow I will see this ship again. In China there was no battle, only air bombardment, so no change of situation. In Burma was no battle, no change of situation. Sumatra is already conquered. Borneo is secured. Java is secured. Celebes is secured. Timor is secured. Everything is secured. Here's nothing more to see. Maybe Burma. Darwin. Yeah, I'm low on supplies. My battleships bombarded, and I don't know. It was tactical. I won this battle, but strategic position still not changed. Darwin is still under Australian control. And I think KilRoy was able to bring in here 1 reinforcements. Maybe this reinforcements saved the day for him, but maybe only 1 day. I have to try it again. Or I must ship in more supplies. If I have somewhere supplies. On New Zealand, still no enemy forces showing up. No forces in the Central Pacific, not here. This is now, yeah, northeast of Truk or south of Marcus Island, west of or east of Saipan. These are, I don't know, I have not really good detection for some reason. There's maybe his bad weather. I am fully spotted, but this is I think also related because I make airstrikes and then you always get this spot I think on the unit who makes this strike. So I know these are here some battleships, but I don't really see clear the picture and I still don't know where's the enemy carrier fleet. I really have no detection on them. I cannot see anything. I see here a task force, but this is this one PG. So last turn this was 3 destroyers. I sunk 2. 1 destroyer survived and is maybe limping back to Marcus Island. My Congo class battleships are also going back 2 hexes per pulse, so maybe in 3 turns can reach the port and then they are safe. So again, a successful airstrike, but nothing really super important so far sunk, and still the threat of enemy carriers nearby. And if I throw so many torpedoes in the water, I am running out of torpedoes. Kaga have still 24. Shukako have still the full load. Let me see if I maybe... No, I was on torpedoes, but they don't strike. There's also full 45 torpedoes, so I have at least 100 torpedoes left. Here's all torpedoes consumed. Yeah, genau. So Kaga and I consumed more or less like 40 or 50 torpedoes already, but I have still 100 torpedoes left in effect. Find the enemy. Good. Thank you. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.